The Cumberland County Board of Commissioners adopted the fiscal year 2012 budget in June. Assistant Finance Director Howard Abner provides information on the budget and future capital projects.
The Board of County Commissioners adopted the fiscal year 2012 budget Tuesday night, June 14th. The countywide budget is $525.6 million, and that represents a $15 million increase over last year, which is about 3%. The countywide budget includes not only the general fund, but several special revenue funds, which includes mental health, the volunteer fire departments. There's several other of those type of special revenue funds. Also includes the Crown Coliseum Complex and solid waste management, along with our capital project funds. To support the countywide budget, the tax rate was adopted at 74 cents per $100. The last tax rate that was raised was in 2002, and it was raised from 90 cents to 92.5 cents. And of course, since then, in this 10-year period to 2012, the tax rate has decreased 18.5 cents. 6/10 of 1 cent of that 74-cent tax rate has been dedicated to our detention facility capital project fund. Other amounts that you'll see on a county tax bill would include a $48 household fee, and that is used for solid waste to run that facility. If you are a resident of the unincorporated part of the county, in other words, you don't live within a city limit, then there's also a 5-cent recreation tax, there's a 10-cent fire district tax, and a 1 1/4 cent special fire tax that goes to what we call our 5 needy fire departments, and also to the Fire Chiefs Association. Our budget for 2012 was accomplished without doing anything really extreme. You know, we didn't have to go to any extreme measures. The operating budgets for departments were held at FY 2011 levels, so they weren't reduced. We didn't have to reduce any personnel, either positions or people. We didn't have to do any furloughs, reduction in hours. So I think all those are good signs. The good news is that we were able to reinstate a 1% 401k contribution to the retirement system that was suspended 2 years ago because of economic conditions. Funding for the Board of Education has been held at the 2011 budgeted number of $76.2 million. The funding for FTCC was increased approximately $320,000, and that's for operating for a new facility. And so that brings their total current expense funding up to about $9.1 million. One of the other things that we were able to do for FTCC is over the past 5 years, we had borrowed $5 million, and that cost the county $965,000 in debt service. And so since that is paid up, we're going to take those funds and go out and get a loan for $3.5 million for capital needs for FTCC. And there'll be some leftover money from that $965, so whatever's left over will go for general capital needs for them. So they're still going to get the same benefit from that $965,000 debt payment. Two capital projects that I would like to talk about is, the first one is an expansion of our existing landfill facility at Ann Street. When it was first designed, it was designed in what we call cells. And the first 8 of 10 cells have already been built, and they're expected to reach their capacity in about 3 years. So it's time to start looking at the last 2 cells. And by the end of the year, we should have the permitting done for those last 2 cells. We'll probably go out for engineering and design work in early spring, and hopefully late summer, early fall, we can actually start construction on that. Total project cost should be about $6.5 million. And again, the good news, the total cost of that project will be borne by the Solid Waste Enterprise Fund. That means no cost to the taxpayer. I said earlier that we had set aside 6/10 of 1 cent of our tax rate to go to a detention facility project. And if we take that, which equates to about $1.2 million, so over a 4-year period, we should be able to accumulate $5 million for that project. In total, we're looking at a $15 million, 316 bed upgrade. So $5 million will come from tax proceeds. In 2011, this past current year, we took $1.8 million from dedicated reserves from the former health department reserves, and we applied that to that capital project. In 2012, the upcoming year, we've got approximately $2.4 million funds that were in excess of our 10% fund balance policy for the year ending 2010. We're going to then take those funds and also put it into that capital project. In 2013, there's about $3.9 million left from that former health department reserve renovation funds. We're going to then transfer that money into that fund. The other thing that we're going to do is, starting also in 2012, is to set aside $500,000 for the next 3 years. So it's $500,000 for FY12, $1 million for FY13, and $1.5 million for FY14. If you take all those numbers, put them together, you'll come up with a little over $16 million, which is a little bit more than the $15 million that we had originally planned on for the construction. So that gives us a little bit of pad for unforeseen costs in the construction. And also, more importantly, we're going to have to start hiring jailers probably anywhere from 6 to 9 months early. And so we'll need that money to fund those personnel costs. We at Cumberland County are conservative in our budgeting. When we're looking at our estimates for sales taxes and property taxes, we're conservative. And some people may criticize us and say we're maybe too conservative. You know, we read the newspaper, you know, and listen to the radio, TV, and you see where the economy is on the rebound. Well, we don't like to really believe that until we actually see it. And I think that's where other folks might get themselves into a little difficulty, because, you know, they're betting that things are going to improve, where we're taking a little bit more of a status quo type, and that's where that conservatism comes into. If a citizen wants more information on the budget, you can go to our website. Of course, the easier way is just to give us a call here at the finance office, 678-775-3, and we'll be more than happy to answer your questions.